Hey guys, good morning. All right, so we are going to look today about starting our new project, which is going to be our four square fruit. Now, the first thing we need, obviously, is a fruit or a vegetable to work with. So, in just a second, we'll look about choosing and how you break it down. But before that, I'm going to fold my paper evenly. So, I'm going to match up the corners, first the left, then the right. And then I'm going to do a nice clean fold so it's nice and crisp and it's very exact. Later, I'm going to cut that. But right now, I just need the fold. And then I'm going to go open it up and turn the other way. Match up the left corner and the right corner. I'm going to press it down and I'm going to create a nice clean fold. Okay, so now I have four quadrants. I have top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. When I choose my fruit, I want my fruit or vegetable to fill all four quadrants. So when I talk about filling all four quadrants, I don't mean, oh, well, I made a banana and this is my banana. Okay, well, it has a decent amount in these two quadrants. Does it have a decent amount in these? Has a little here, has almost none here. So what that tells me is either it needs to be bigger, I need to twist and adjust the way it's sitting on the paper, or I may just need to choose something different. So here I am, and you've got lots of fruits and vegetables to choose from. I broke them down into line drawings because I thought that might be easier on y'all. But you can also look at the pages of realistic fruit that you have if you're more comfortable drawing from a photograph than from a drawing. I could do the guava. That one looks really cool. Let's do that. That way we can see what's happening. All right, so it looks like it's taller than it is wide. When you look at yours, if it's taller than it is wide, simply turn your paper. If I was doing this, then that's more wide. So think about what you're doing. All right, so it's got two shapes with it. It's got this front shape that looks a little bit like a triangle and an oval met. And then it's got this one back here that looks like a larger oval. So I'll come and I'll make a really light line sketch because I may decide that this isn't quite as large as it needs to be, or maybe it's going to be too large. So I want to make sure that I'm going lightly. Okay. Probably okay. I think this is about where we are. All right, and before I get any more details, I'm going to come and put the other big shape in because I need the other big shape to be the right size. And if I drew all those details and then realized it was the wrong size, I would probably be crabby. I know you can understand that. Okay. Now I see it has a little stem on top. I may have to adjust that stem slightly so that it ends up staying on my paper. If yours runs off the paper, it's not the world's biggest deal, but if you wanna adjust it so that it stays where you have it, that's also okay. Okay, so it comes out, then in. Oh, that's much bigger. Look, it goes all the way down. I was thinking small. Okay. And that's that benefit of drawing lightly because if I draw lightly, I can come and erase very, very easily. Now, as we talk about getting ours, I've got my big shapes, so I'm gonna go back into the smaller details now. I can say, all right, I know this one has this top half, and I can see kind of a rind that goes around, so I'm gonna connect that. It's got almost a kind of triangular-like shape that's very wavy in the middle. That's where all of its seeds are. And then it kinda splits up the middle, and it's got little seeds. Now, especially when we start drawing shapes like this starts to be where people really press down. Remember that you're drawing lightly, and that your goal is not to create a dark line, but just to create a line that's the right size for what you need. Okay. And if you're doing something like this or something like strawberries, then that's a situation where you're not gonna like exactly count out every single thing on the paper. Like, you don't have to be like, "Oh, there's 53 seeds, so I need exactly 53 seeds." Just try your best to get what you need. Now, as I look at this, I see this curves in slightly more, so I am gonna come and adjust that. And then I see it's got kind of lines that give me, I guess, an indentation probably right here. And that helps it look a little bit more realistic, a little bit more 3D. Okay. Mm-hmm. There we are there. And there we are over here. All right. So from here, I'd be ready to check with my teacher. I'd make sure that she and I identified that we had a decent amount of stuff in the 4 quadrants. One way you can also do that for yourself is to look. This one doesn't have a ton in it, but this one does. This one does. And this one does. So one way I could help myself out if I wanted to, I could add a second leaf to give myself a little bit more. So I'm going to kind of fudge a leaf right here. And now, when I come to look at that quadrant, more of it is used. So I'd check with the teacher, we'd look at mine, and then I'm going to be ready to Sharpie. In what I'm doing, I do want to think about using different lines. So I've got a regular Sharpie for my traditional lines and a thin Sharpie for some of those details, like perhaps my lines on my leaf or my lines in my fruit. So for example, if I was coming right here, and remember, I'm not pushing down on my Sharpie, I'm just trying to be smooth and easy. Now, sometimes your Sharpie is going to have a little bit more trouble jumping over that fold. So just keep that in mind, but it's not going to be something that ruins your picture. I know some of us like it to be super even, and so that is a little bit annoying for us, but it is okay. It's not life or death, and it's going to work just as fine for what we're going to do next. Okay. Now, I know these are small details, so I can come in and I can get them with my detail Sharpie. So I'd continue, I'd Sharpie my whole thing, and then of course, after I Sharpie, I'm going to make sure I thoroughly erase all the pencil. All right, guys, I will see you for the next installment of our project.